All right, let's talk about Las Vegas. It's this city of just pure spectacle, right? It's like a mirage of neon and ambition that honestly shouldn't even exist in the middle of a desert. But behind all that glitz and glamour, there's a surprisingly structured world. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really figure out what makes Vegas, well, Vegas. I mean, just look at that. Its official nickname is the entertainment capital of the world. And yeah, this picture pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It's a skyline of these completely impossible buildings, and each one is basically its own little universe. So we're going to peel back the layers of this incredible city, look right past that dazzling facade, and really understand how it all works together. Okay, first, let's just get our bearings. You have to understand, Las Vegas isn't just sitting in a desert. It's literally an island of light, a city that feels like it was just carved right out of the vast Mojave. And that contrast, between this huge, empty landscape and this super dense, vibrant city, that is absolutely key to understanding its whole identity. And you'd think that being in the middle of nowhere would stop people from coming, right? Well, wrong. Get a load of this number. 40 million. That's roughly how many people visit this city every single year. It's this unbelievable pilgrimage, really, to an oasis built completely on entertainment. Just wild. So you're probably wondering, how on earth do you even begin to make sense of a place like this? Well, lucky for us, our guide breaks the city down into these really clear, distinct areas. And that gives us the perfect roadmap for our little tour today. We're going to hit the South Strip, the North Strip, and then head to historic downtown. All right, let's dive in. First stop, the South Strip. Now this is the land of those larger-than-life themes and just pure, crazy spectacle. It's where you're going to find so many of those classic Vegas icons you've seen in movies. What you've got here is this super dense cluster of what they call mega resorts. We're talking about places like Mandalay Bay, the Luxor, Paris. They're designed to be their own little universes. They have everything you could possibly need. Restaurants, shots, theaters, all under one roof. You literally never have to leave. And honestly, this quote from the guide just nails the vibe here. It calls it a fantasy land of riotous design. I love that. It's not about being subtle or elegant. It's all about being loud and joyful and sometimes kind of chaotic. It's just pure imagination brought to life. And this is the perfect example of that riotous design. Think about it. On one corner, you've got this massive pyramid and sphinx from ancient Egypt, the Luxor. And then literally steps away, you're staring at a mini Manhattan skyline, Statue of Liberty and all. It's just this incredible, breathtaking clash of worlds right next to each other. Okay, so as we head a little further up the boulevard from the South Strip, you can feel the whole vibe start to change. We're now on the North Strip. And here, the focus really shifts away from those crazy themes and more towards a kind of modern, sophisticated luxury. This part of town used to be known for its older, maybe more working-class casinos. But that totally changed when places like the Venetian and the Wynn showed up. They, as the guide puts it, leveled the field. They just set a completely new standard for what a high-end Vegas experience could be. And that includes some serious premier shopping. And the Venetian is the perfect example of this. It's not just, a hotel with an Italian name. No. It's an immersive, full-on recreation of Venice. We're talking a Grand Canal, where you can ride in real gondolas with singing gondoliers, and the whole thing is inside a shopping mall. It's incredible. So the key word here is meticulous. That's what it's all about. From the hand-painted frescoes you see on the ceilings to these unbelievably faithful reproductions of landmarks like the Rialto Bridge, the North Strip is really defined by its insane attention to detail and quality. And it's not just about detail. The scale here is just as ambitious. I mean, look at this number, 550 feet. Any guesses what that is? I'll give you a hint, it's not a building. That is the height of the High Roller, the world's tallest observation wheel. It's this sleek, modern monument that just perfectly sums up the North Strip's ambition. To be bigger, to be newer, and to be more spectacular than anything that came before. It literally gives you a whole new perspective on the city. Okay, for our third and final stop on this tour, we are leaving the Strip completely. We're heading to the place where it all started, downtown. This is the real vintage heart of Las Vegas. So what's the big difference? Well, think of it this way. The Strip is all about these huge, sprawling mega resorts and completely over-the-top spectacles. Downtown, it's different. The vibe is way more vintage, more classic. The buildings are on a more human scale, You've got historic casinos with these dazzling neon signs out front instead of like giant volcanoes and pyramids. And really, those neon signs are the soul of downtown. You see these historic icons from casinos like the Golden Nugget or Binion's, and they're like pieces of living history. They're these beautiful reminders of the city's early days and its deep, deep connection to the art of neon. But don't think for a second that downtown is just stuck in the past. Its main attraction is the Fremont Street experience, and it's this perfect blend of old and new. You've got all the historic casinos right there on the street, but they're all covered by this gigantic, modern canopy that puts on a light and sound show that is, well, it's one of the most incredible things you'll ever see. Okay, so for this last part, we're going to zoom way out, because as absolutely fantastic as the city itself is, the story of Las Vegas doesn't just stop at the city limits, not even close. See, even though it feels so isolated out there in the desert, Las Vegas is also a major hub. And I don't just mean for flights. It's actually a base camp for exploring some of the most stunning natural landscapes on Earth. And this contrast, honestly, is just as powerful as the city versus the desert. On one hand, you have the incredible, artificial, man-made beauty at the neon lights, and on the other, you have the completely natural, jaw-dropping beauty of places like Bryce Canyon. And the amazing part is, from Vegas, you can easily go see both. I mean, the list of places you can get to is just incredible. We're talking a few hours drive, and you can be standing at the Hoover Dam, hiking in Red Rock Canyon, exploring Zion National Park, or even looking out over the Grand Canyon. It's a gateway to a totally different kind of spectacle, one carved by nature, not by neon. So all of this brings us to one final big question. What is Las Vegas, really? Is it just the ultimate man-made fantasy land, a total escape from reality? Or is it something else? A surprisingly practical gateway to some of the most real and spectacular natural wonders on the planet? I think maybe its true genius is that somehow it manages to be both.